Hey, happy Sunday, the 30th of October. Happy pre-Dia de los Muertos and and the Baltimore Comic Con episode of 2SkeGEEKS. Your boy Will Call. Happy to see you again. It's just been a glorious weekend. I'm chilling out today. I didn't go up there today, but I was there at Baltimore Comic Con both Friday and Saturday. Saturday with my daughter, Friday by myself, and I had a blast both days. And so I have a lot to show, but to keep this episode brief, I'm going to try to get moving very quickly. Something exclusive of Baltimore Comic Con would be this first thing that I want to show you from Tales of the Jedi, related to Tales of the Jedi. So let me turn on my display camera and get you going, and let this get the episode get to moving with this book right here. That was actually a mail call book. It was not purchased at Baltimore Comic Con. However, this book is the first appearance of Yaddle, the female species of the same species as Yoda. She makes her appearance in this book here, Star Wars number 13. And why is that related to the Tales of the Jedi, which is on Disney Plus? I watched 2 of the 6 episodes that are there. Their episodes are about 20 minutes roughly each. And so I'm really trying to just milk it for all I can, because I just watched 2 episodes back to back. They were fun to watch, easy to watch, but I don't want to just run through it. So, and what makes it relevant is the fact that in the trailer for Tales of the Jedi is that Yaddle is in the trailer for Tales of the Jedi. And so I just wanted to show this to you guys, that this is her first appearance. And other mail call that came in related to it was this Star Wars 14. And again, as you see, Mace Windu on this cover. This is number 14. And it's a continuation of the same storyline. It's a six-part story. Sadly, I only have 3 of the 6, and this is the 3rd issue, number 15, which is part 3 of 6 of this storyline, Emissary to Malastare. And so I wanted to show these to you because to incite you guys to check out Tales of the Jedi on Disney Plus. It is very good, very enjoyable, and I recommend you put your eyeballs on it. Okay, now, Baltimore Comic Con. Again, had a blast. So the first person that I met was Philip Kennedy Johnson, and I've got a ton of his books here that I want to show that I got his autograph on. This one here is a one-shot that he recommended to read. Thank you, Mr. Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is one that he said he fell in love with John Stewart and writing John Stewart in this book. And I'm going to make time to read it. And for sure, what's a blessing is the fact that Mr. Philip Kennedy Johnson is also, he agreed to showing up on this channel on our show. And so I'm arranging time with spending time to arrange with his family and team to figure out when we can do a show together. And it was awesome meeting him and his wife and his son, fantastic people. And I didn't know that they were also in Maryland and a local homie like I. And so moving forward to keep the pace of the show going, another book that he signed for me was this metal cover of with Superman, Warlord, and Mongol. Just a beautiful chrome cover that he had there for sale. It was awesome for him to do that. And also, this one came out of the personal collection, and I've shown you guys this book. This came out of my personal collection that he signed for me with this World Apocalypse, the conclusion of World Apocalypse that he signed for me. And then this is more like the beginning of the World Apocalypse when they went to DC Future State about a year and a half ago. This is the beginning of it. Well, this is part 2 of the Future Worlds, Superman going into the War World, but I had him sign this one as well. And so, and the last thing I appreciate him signing for me that he's written in is this Adventure Time This Adventure Times trade paperback that he signed from my daughter. And I appreciate you, man, so much. So as you see, the first story in here is by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And he signed off for this. He signed off in this book. Where is he? Oh, right there. To my daughter. So I really am grateful to him for signing and taking the time to care for my daughter at the Comic Con. It was awesome. Thank you, brother. And I look forward to talking to you and your family in the future. So, and not just for comic business, but also for just family get together or family get together, man. It would be awesome. Okay, next thing. I met Afua Richardson, and I will put pictures of I with myself and Afua that I met her, and she again is an incredible artist. She did the Black Panther World of Wakanda, as you can see, with her autograph on it there, as well as she signed off on this cover here for number 2. And then I'm going to switch camera perspectives for you. Go back to see the room behind me. She also, this female Miles, she called it Miley Morales. That's her artwork as well. And I'm very proud to have those pieces signed by her. And I have another piece to show, but I put it too far away. If you're not tracking, Afua Richardson was in the TV show Lovecraft Country. She was the artist on the comic book Arithia Blue. And so I have a little small, I guess, trade or card paper of Arithia Blue. It's not the full comic book, but it's just a depiction of it, and with her autograph on that as well. And I'm honored to have that. I thought about trying to get her to sign my Lovecraft Country, but my wife is reading the book, and so I forgot to bring it in to the Comic Con. But I'm blessed that she was willing to take pictures with me and autograph her work for me. Next person that we met was Brian Stelfreeze. And so Mr. Brian Stelfreeze was the artist on covers with Black Panther. And this is his work right here for Black Panther that he did when Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing the book, not the current volume of Black Panther, because John Ridley is writing it. But when Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing, Brian Stelfreeze was doing some of the covers. And so this one here is his cover with Black Panther and Storm. And he was amazing to meet. My daughter was happy to meet him, and she's an artist as well. And so we got a chance to view him mentoring other artists. And he took his time. Sweet dude, man. He's a great-hearted person that wants to help people succeed. So it was amazing to watch him do that. It was also amazing in the fact that he, on Friday when I first met him, he was saying that he was in Los Angeles the night before at the premiere, Black Panther or Wakanda Forever, and gave the pre-tell or the foretell of the fact that just saying what he could was the fact that he said, "You're going to love the movie." And I know we will be, because I know Mr. Ryan Coogler, the director and producer, would not short us on that on that movie. So I'm so excited for November 11th with Wakanda Forever. And thank you, Mr. Stelfreeze, for that heads up and letting us know how great that movie is. And for you guys to know, he's also willing to come on the show to do an interview. So I'm looking forward to that, for Mr. Stelfreeze and Mr. Johnson to come on the show. So next artist signed books would be Mr. Liam Sharp. Mr. Liam Sharp signed this run on Batman Reptilian. As you can see at the bottom, this is his work that he put there. He put his autograph on the glove, and I love that. That's number 1. No, that's book number 6. That's book number 6. Number 5, 4, and all this work that you see is his work. Okay, number 3, 2, and lastly, number 1. So got autographs from his work, and I'm going to change perspectives on the camera one more time because I didn't cover everything what's in the room. Try to make this very quick because I'm trying to move the show quickly. So this was Brian Stelfreeze's work back here. Let me move the microphone and move him out of Miles's way. This is Brian Stelfreeze's work, and this was on Miles Morales Spider-Man #1. This was the A cover. This is a print that he did and signed for me. And finally, over on the other, this piece right here is Liam Sharp's work that he did. And that's a Wonder Woman Batman copyright for Wonder Woman Batman cover that he did and print that he was selling as well. So I just wanted to show those very quickly for the last 2 persons that we got autographs from. It was awesome meeting you, Mr. Sharp. I love your artwork, not just on Wonder Woman, but also your Green Lantern work. And he's done work with the Incredible Hulk back in the day, Web of Spider-Man. Let's see here. What else has he? I can't think of. Oh, his new book, Starhenge. The artwork is amazing in it. So I recommend you guys look up Liam Sharp, Liam, Liam Sharp, and get a toast of his work in your eyeballs. Yeah, it would be an honor for you to check out his stuff as well. Okay, now I'm going to change perspectives with the display camera again and try to move fast. Okay, so we talked about Tuskegee Heirs in the past. So this is issue number 3, and then issue number 4. The artist was there, artist and writer was there. And so I got a chance to reconnect with him for issues number 3 and 4. I already had number 1 and 2 of the book, but I didn't have 3 and 4. So I picked those up, and then he's got another story that he has written, I'm not connected to, but another story that he started, solo book, and this is called Search for Sadika. And this book right here is book 0 of this new series that he's written. And then book number 1. And lastly, this extras that he did, Search for Sadika extras, that helps fill in some of the knowledge gaps between 0 and 1. So I'm looking forward to checking those out and also getting caught up on the Tuskegee Heirs. And lastly, the last book that I picked up that was autographed was for this book here for the Buffalo Soldiers by Web Graphics. The brothers here, they signed, I just wanted to buy their book here and promote their book. And I can't wait to read it. It's an interactive story of which you use a QR scan code. And when you use QR scan code within the book will actually read itself to you for those who are even visually impaired, but you get a chance to actually listen to the book, or if you're not visually impaired, you just get someone to read it to you, and especially helpful for children who are trying to learn how to read. So I'm looking forward to reading this book on Buffalo Soldier here. All right, now let's get into the boatload of books that came that I purchased from Baltimore Comic Con. I'll pull up these runs or the whole lots. So I picked up Deadpool Kills Marvel Universe. Picked up all 4 issues. Love the fact that I could find this. In fact, I'd written this on my want list just before I walked into the Comic Con. And so I was fortunate to find the whole run put together, pristine shape. I had pieces of the run before, but not the entire run. So grateful for that. That was the first one. Then from the same vendor, picked up Feature Imperfect with the first appearance of Incredible Hulk, Feature Imperfect with the first appearance of Maestro, the feature version of the Hulk, the Tyrant of the Earth. And so this is a Peter David story. It's a classic. Again, I only had like the first copy. I only had the number 1 of 2. I did not have the full run with 2 of 2 here. And so fortunate, blessed to find that. Didn't pay full price for either of those. Then I found this one right here, which I'm really excited to read. This Golden Age trade paperback series by James Robinson. I'm really excited about seeing what this is about. James Robinson wrote Starman. He also was written for the Fantastic Four, Starman, and then Shade the Changing Man. He's written it on those characters and is known famously for doing DC's Golden Age superheroes. So I am excited to check these stories out by James Robinson. He's another great writer from the UK. And so this is issues 1 through 4 of the Golden Age. I also picked up this run on Lobo, his first solo series, issues 1 through 4. And this is the backside, number 4, but 2 and 3 are sandwiched in between. Then we also picked up, that's the backside. Martha Washington Goes to War. This is a Frank Miller book and Dave Gibbons. Frank Miller was also at Baltimore Comic Con. I just didn't feel like paying $500 to see him, but he was there both Friday and Saturday. And this is some of the stuff he's written. And I've been looking for this run for probably since 2013. And I found the whole run for this this series of Martha Washington. There are other stories or series of Martha Washington, but I'll pick those up at another time. But I was actually very fortunate to find this volume 1 of the first series of Martha Washington, in this case, Goes to War. Then we've got NYX, No Way Home. And so NYX, if you're unfamiliar, NYX was the first, not the No Way Home, but just plain NYX was when you had Young Mutants. And first run and first volume of NYX was when we found Wolverine's daughter. I think she appears first in NYX number 2. I'll pull up that cover and display it along with the show. And then, yeah, she's in the cup, and she's inside on number 2, but then on number 3, she's on the cover. And so, but this is another volume that came out later on for NYX No Way Home. And what is important about this is Marjorie Liu is the writer on this book. Marjorie Liu is another incredible writer, Lord have mercy. And she's written a book called a series called Monstrous. I think it's on Image, and I think it's probably wrapping up. It has been out since 2016 or 17, but she's known for her writing, and I can't wait to check this out because Monstrous is very good. And what makes it more pertinent to me is on this issue number 6, if you're looking at the talent on this one, you've got Marjorie Liu and then Sarah Pacelli. And this series came out in 2009. And what is important, if you guys aren't tracking, Sarah Pacelli is the first artist to create and start working on the individual series of Miles Morales, when it was Miles Morales, the Ultimate Comics Miles Morales, not Ultimate Fallout, but Miles Morales in Ultimate Comics and doing the first series. And she's done tons of Miles books. And so you had tremendous talent in this book before Miles came out, and probably about a year or so later in 2010 or 11 was Miles's first appearance. But Sarah Pacelli was writing with Marjorie Liu, was doing the artwork with Marjorie Liu within this book. So lots of talent in this series called NYX No Way Home. Last collected series I bought was Marvel Boy the Uranian. just one of three, and I've never seen this, and so I just wanted to pick this up. And Mr. Jeff Parker is the writer. I have to look at who Mr. Ruiz is on the inside. I'm not sure what his full name is, but I love these painted covers that are on this book. And so just the covers alone caught my eye, and I'm a Marvel Boy fan as well. So, and he's also related to, or similar, or the same as Quasar. And so, last book of, it's not really a collected series, but this book here is as Johnny Quest. It came out in the mid 80s, I believe it was 1986. And what is important about this book is the fact that it's done by the late artist, Mr. Dave Stevens, who drew well, known for his drawings of women. And this cover here speaks for itself with Johnny Quest and Haji and, oh man, Bandit, dog Bandit. And I'm not sure what the female character's name, I would assume it might be Jade, but I'm really looking forward to just peeking inside of this for this Dave Stevens covers. And if you're unfamiliar, just the spelling of Dave Stevens is right here with the Stevens. Dave Stevens, look at his work, and his autograph is at the bottom here as well. And you will find that he's done some immaculate work over the years. And I'm going to pause and take a quick drink of water, and I'll pause the video. Coming back now to books that I picked up. And I'll keep this moving really fast, you guys, because it's a ton. So let's go with Batgirl number 9. This is one of the first covers of Stanley Art Germ Lau. It came out in this Batgirl volume number 2. This is number 9. And this is a key book because it's Art Germ's first work. Then you have number 10 that I picked up. These were all from the half price, so I did not pay full cover for these, what you see listed. Number 11. Sadly, I'm missing number 12. I have number 12 in the archives downstairs, and number 13, and then 14. Those picked up from the same vendor. These were all from a half price vendor. And then I'll go with some of the Avengers, the new Avengers. This is the second print variant of number 1, 2, 6. No, I sadly didn't have the full run there. I would have picked them up. They were there. So you'll find gaps. 7, 8. And then we'll change series from New Avengers to Avengers volume. I believe this was volume 4 of the Avengers. And this is also the series where Iron Man wears the Infinity Gauntlet. It comes later on, but this is number 11. But Iron Man dons the Infinity Gauntlet in another book down the line from this series. Number 18, 19. Sorry, you guys. 20. Great covers, and this is Daniel Acuna on the covers. Daniel Acuna is a great talent. Love his work. Okay. Then going back to New Avengers in another volume, we got number 42. This is part of the Secret Invasion storyline with the Skrulls, and so therefore you have characters looking Skrull-ish. So you got number 43, 44 with the Illuminati looking Skrull-ish, including Tony Stark's face mask there. That's hilarious. 45, 46, even Doom with the Skrullish face work there. It's just cool. 47. And then we've got changing series on Avengers to Avengers Academy, number 9. And we're going changing series again to Dark Avengers, number 3. And I wanted to try to get all the Dark Avengers that I could. There's too many gaps in that, and from that vendor, I didn't get a chance to fill all the holes in Dark Avengers. I think I'm probably missing about half the series right now. Number 13. And then a Dark Avengers annual. And oddly enough, this was Dark Avengers, but they have it listed when trying to categorize it in the database. It was listed as a Thunderbolts book. So it's Thunderbolts number 190. But oddly enough, it's Dark Avengers final issue. So I guess it will be a Dark Avengers tie-in via the Thunderbolts with the Hulk son Scar on the cover. And last book from that bag is Mighty Avengers, going still with the Secret Invasion, with the Skrull look and Secret Invasion. We have Mighty Avengers number 12. All right, last bag. And I'm gonna try to cruise through this very quickly, you guys. Again, big bag full of books. Try to make it quick and keep this to a half an hour of viewing. So I don't want to burden you with my time and trying to get through with what I picked up. So sticking with the Avengers. So this is volume 1, and I always love this cover. I have the Marvel Triple Action cover, which were reprints of the volume 1 of Avengers, but I've never had the first or the original of this cover with Giant Man's hand reaching up under the staircase. And this is also the first appearance or mention of adamantium. So this is a key book for me, not just because it's something that I read from Triple Action back in the day, but also because, again, first appearance of adamantium. So I'm going to try to stay Avengers and move this to the side. Dark Avengers number 12. Then Avengers Academy number 3. Now changing series again, but staying with Avengers, Mighty Avengers number 9. Number 10. Another copy of number 12. Number 15. 16. 17. Now these start coming together pretty nicely in a run. Staying with this Secret Invasion. If you guys aren't tracking, if you're not aware, there is a trailer for Secret Invasion with Nick Fury and Samuel L. Jackson tracking down the Skrulls for the Secret Invasion. It's coming. The trailer is already out. Number 19. And what's significant about this cover, if you guys historically, Captain Marvel or Marvel on the cover is Kree, and the Skrulls are their typical enemy race. So this is a key book so far as historical value or storytelling with the Kree and the Skrull war. And as a matter of fact, first Kree-Skrull war was done in Avengers Volume 1. Numbers like 90 through 100 was the first Kree-Skrull war in the Avengers. And that book, those books, if you try to buy them, they're a little pricey now, but they're still attainable. And do yourself a favor and read up on the Kree-Skrull war, the first time done. And again, that's Avengers Volume 1, like issues 90 through 100. Mighty Avengers, another copy of the same book with, that's number 20. And then I'm going to go back to Volume 1 of the Avengers. with 331. This is not the first appearance of Rage. I think Rage is in book number 328, but this is another telling of with Rage on the cover with issue number 331, 332. And again, as I said last week, all things Doom. So I saw Doom on the cover, had to buy it. And this is 333, again, with Doom on the cover of the Avengers. All righty. Let's try to stick Marvel. All right, so Dark Hawk, number 22. I had to have that because it was just Dark Hawk and Ghost Rider. Just love it. I'm always a big fan of Ghost Rider, so this was a must-have. Yeah, some people love Dark Hawk. I'm not familiar enough to say I like or dislike, but because it was Dark Hawk, and a lot of kids that were introduced to comics in the 90s, they love Dark Hawk. And so he's making a comeback. Those Dark Hawk books are becoming more and more valuable every day. So if you want to invest in, make your collection more valuable, look at Dark Hawk first appearance and also Dark Hawk number 1. I think it is Dark Hawk number 1 is the first appearance of Dark Hawk. But regardless of, I could be wrong, and I'll make sure I'm correct in my in the subtitles below. But Dark Reign, the Cabal, this is my second copy of this one, but I had to have that one because I always love that cover. And this Fantastic Four Volume 2, this was the work that Jim Lee was doing for writing and doing a lot of the artwork on the Fantastic Four at that time in Volume 2. Now I do have the full run with a volume 2 of Fantastic Four with Jim Lee, but sadly he did. I wanted to buy another run, but I'll buy it in wholes and piece it together. This was number 11. Ready? And then you've got Volume 3 of the Fantastic Four. Number 12. This is one I believe Chris Claremont was writing at the time, with Salvador LaRocca doing the cover on this one. All righty. And then a book that I was thinking about this week before going to Baltimore Comic Con, and I was hoping I would find it. And I did find it. One of the first things I found going in, I remember this book as a kid on the newsstand, number 201. Of course, the first book right after an anniversary of the 200th issue, so 201. And I love this cover with Spidey and the Punisher, and John Romita is the artist on that book. And just one of those classic covers, an iconic cover by John Romita. Almost finished with the Marvel books. Cable Deadpool, number 23. And what's important about Cable Deadpool, the artist on this, Patrick Zircher, those covers by Patrick Zircher, I highly recommend you getting, in particular when it starts, I think it starts around issue number 3 or 4. 3 or 4 through number 23, and it's around 23 or 25 is when he stops. But those Zircher covers are pricey, not horribly pricey, but you'll probably pay at least $10 per cover. And when you see those covers that Zircher does starting around issue number 4 or 5, you will see why. And these perspectives that he does, even on this cover, amazing. So this is number 43, when they were introducing other guests into the Cable Deadpool series. So this is when he's doing with Wolverine, and that's number 43. 44. 45. And lastly, 46 for the Fantastic Four. The one I really love is when he combined with the Cable Deadpool with Brother Voodoo. Those covers are amazing with Brother Voodoo. Okay, changing printers or publishers would be going to Image with Invincible number 92. I had gaps in this portion of Invincible from like numbers 90 through 100. So I was glad to find issue number 92 here because I did not have it until the show. And again, these are all half price. It did not pay what you see on the cover. Number 94 was another hole that I had. 95, 96, 97, and sadly, I didn't find number 99. 99 is what I also am missing, but one of these days I'll get it, and that will complete that run. And lastly, 106 is the end of the books and the end of this forecast of the Baltimore Comic Con version of 2SkeGEEKS. Man, hopefully I got through this fast enough for you. Had a ball out there, had a ball meeting the artists out there, the writers. And I'm so excited about having folks on the show in the future. And yeah, it was this 2SkeGEEK weekend. So please let us know what you thought about the show and some of the books we picked up. And I know some of the folks who are in the local area, they were asking me, hey, did you go? Did you go? And of course, I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going. I've been telling you I was going to go. I'm not spending any money on anything else until Baltimore Comic Con. And it was definitely worth it. So please like and subscribe to our channel. We are honored to have you with us. And it's a blessing for me to do this with you every week. I'm looking forward to doing this again next week with some of the latest books that came out this week that I didn't get a chance to show you, and some of the mail call has come in as well. We got that regular cover love and great stories out there. And again, please check out Action Comics and the stuff that Mr. Philip Kennedy Johnson is doing out there. Fantastic writing. I cannot laud him enough, and or applaud him enough. Take care of yourselves. And I'll let you know when we get him on the show. And have a 2SkeGEEK day and a great rest of your week. 2SkeGEEKS out. Peace.